Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. One of our crew members wondering if she's an a-hole for not doing this for...
I love that.
That's where it gets tough for him, to be honest.
And that's how I say this. I mean, come on, girl. Listen, I get it that he can be an a-hole waking up, and I've, people that, wake up grumpy. See, it's different because I leave the house way before Megan in the middle of the night,
Right.
and she doesn't wake up till much later, of course. But on the weekends or something, if she didn't wake me up for something important, I would be mad. I wouldn't necessarily call her an a-hole. I don't think I'd go that far. I wouldn't throw a shoe at her or rub my butt in her face.
That's good. I'm proud of you.
Kenzie's methods. But I do the same for her. Like, I have done that for her when I know, because she loves snoozing and I don't. I hate the snooze. I know it's the devil. When that alarm goes off, you pop up and go to work. This is America. We're going.
This is America?
For her, whenever we've slept in on for something, which is very rare these days, but when we do, she loves snoozing. I hate it. I go, why not just to set the alarm for a half hour later and then get up? Don't do it every 5 minutes because I'm getting just back to sleep and it goes off again. Snoozing is the devil. It's the devil's work. So, yes, she can wake him up, especially if she knew that it was going to lose his job. Because later he'll appreciate it probably. Maybe not so much right now. But come on, girl. You can wake your boyfriend
but
up.
I will say, she should wake him up if it's easy for her. She doesn't need to go out of her way because he's not willing to put in effort. So if it's easy for her, she should wake him up. However, it is his responsibility. She's not wrong, and I don't think she needs to be going out of the way every day. If she's in the middle of the work meeting, she's gonna be like, I have to hop off because he won't wake up. Like, that's, if it's inconveniencing her, like, he does need to be an adult at some point.
Well, listen, we all have sacrifices in relationships, and why can't she sacrifice to wake him up, knowing that it could lead to him getting more money down the road, a promotion, and then she benefits from that? You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, listen, you do not want your significant other to lose their job. It becomes your problem.
That's right.
Trust me, even if you're being selfish, just wake them up for selfish reasons.
Yeah, wake him up. Come on, girl. What do you think, Case?
No, Brian, how could you possibly side with this guy? I'm going to say something here, and it's going to hurt some people's feelings, but if it hurts your feelings, you need to hear it. Being late is an epidemic in this country, and I do not tolerate lateness. I do not like people that are late. It is a skill that, to be an adult, you must acquire. And to do that, you need to not be a burden on your significant other or anybody else in your life. If you're an adult that can't handle getting up with an alarm clock, that is your own problem that you need to sort out. This girlfriend is not the a-hole. She's not the jerk. She's doing nothing wrong. She needs to teach this guy a lesson.
Here's the deal. She's not doing anything wrong, but that's not how you win in a relationship. Sometimes you go the extra mile for people.
Yeah.
I can't do it with late people. Late people are their own separate issue. They're on their own island. I cannot deal with it. If I was going to run a meeting at 8 o'clock, I would lock the doors at 8:01. If you're not there on time, you're not going to participate.
Thank God you're not a teacher. You would have sucked.
And I say she is doing something wrong. She's not waking him up and making sure he gets off to work. No matter how much grumpy he is, that's what relationships
How
are.
much grumpy. I don't think she's doing anything wrong. I just think if it's not a big deal, she could help him. If it is a big deal, he does need to figure it out.
I'll tell you what, you guys chime in on this, 312-591-8300. How do you feel in the situation? Are you in this situation? Have you been in it? What do you think? Is she being the a-hole or is he being the a-hole?
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
So we're talking about a crew member, boyfriend, girlfriend, 25 years old. And the boyfriend's really mad because the girlfriend didn't wake him up for work. He's been late. He's been nearly fired. He's about to be fired. And whether she wakes him up or not, he gets mad either way. Like, don't wake me up or wake me up. But she knows how bad it is with the boss who actually likes him, is trying to give him a break, but it's too late now. He's going to get fired because she didn't wake him up. Who's in the wrong here? I think she's in the wrong. You're in a relationship.
Stop. She's not wrong.
She is being the a-hole here. There's a lot of sacrifices and things in relationships you don't want to do. This is her cross to bear. This is hers.
Okay, listen. It's not her cross to bear. It's literally his cross. He's the one that... My thing is, you're allowed to ask for help in a relationship. My dad sucks at waking up, okay? And he's very responsible. He's not good at it. And he'll nicely ask my mom, could you double check tomorrow? I'm super nervous. I'm going to be late. But if my mom got busy and couldn't, it's still his job to set an alarm, he would never be mad at her. It's okay to ask for help. See if it's a big day and you're like, oh, I don't want this habit to leak in. Could you double check on me? But to blame it on somebody else is wild. By the way, I love this text because Rob texted in and he's like, it's not her. He's a grown-ass man. I've been getting myself up for 30 years. And it reminds me of the Sebastian Maniscalco skit when he's like talking about how kids are depressed and his dad's like, I've been depressed for 30 years. Get a job. It's so funny.
I think more people are siding with our female crew member here who came in here. This came in from Tiffany in Oak Forest. Checked in. First-time texter. So thank you, Tiffany from Oak Forest, and all the new listeners in Oak Forest this morning. She says, boy needs to grow up and take personal responsibility. Geez, Chase is right.
Chase.
That's Case, the producer, who's answering phones right now.
It's called Chase a lot.
Yeah, just so you know, new time texter. Thank you for that. And it's Case, C-A-S-E. But let's go to some phones here. 312-591-8300. What say you on this? Casey's checking in. Casey, ahoy. What say you on this?
Brian, how dare you?
Oh, boy. Is this my wife?
Oh, my gosh. I have been married to my husband for 13 years, and we dated for 4 before. I used to wake him up. It was horrible. He would yell at me because I didn't wake him up enough. It wasn't on time. If, he didn't get up, then it was my fault, and I said I was done. I don't wake him up. It's not my responsibility. We have 4 kids. I get them up in the morning. He needs to get himself up. He just has to take care of himself. I take care of the kids. He has to get himself up to go to work. It's not my job.
Wait, you got yourself up and 4 kids, and he was mad at you for not being part of that?
Well, so my son, they were supposed to go exercising in the morning, and James is like, my son is like, why don't you wake up, Dad? I go, no, that's not my job. Your dad's a man. He can do it himself. And he's like, why not? I said, it doesn't end well. It doesn't end well. Amen. Because then it's a constant thing that I have to continuously go there and wake him up because he'll fall back asleep, and then he's mad because he didn't get up the first time, and then it's my fault. It's not on me. It's not on her.
Casey.
Yeah.
Casey, you wake up 4 kids. One more is not a big deal.
Okay.
Wake up one more.
It is when that one more is a 40-year-old man, it's a big deal.
I understand, but as a man, we're still a little child on the inside. You got to remember the little child that's inside. His name's James, your husband?
Not his mommy.
Well, in some ways you are. You have to help out here and help out the household.
In some ways, she's his mom. What
No.
does that mean?
No, not even a little bit.
Oh, my gosh.
Casey, I'm very disappointed in you.
I'm very disappointed in you, Brian. I'm offended.
This poor girl's got to fight at home, and she's got to listen to the radio and fight with you.
Yeah, you had time to fight with me, Casey. You woke up the kids. You could have woke up James.
No.
All right.
Not my job.
We appreciate you standing your ground.
Okay. You guys have a great morning.
Love you so much. Thanks for listening.
She's fired up, man.
Let's see here. Eddie's also checking in. She's still laughing. Eddie, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, guys? Long time no talk.
Okay, let's go.
So my girlfriend has autism, and there was one point where I go to work. I'm the dude that works the paper. Remember me?
Oh,
yes.
So there was a point in time where I would be getting up to go to work, and I would be leaving at 7 o'clock in the morning, and my girlfriend would be going to bed. And then finally, I would get home and she'd be waking up, and it was this constant cycle. And we kind of realized that there wasn't really, we weren't really talking about our emotions too much anymore. Mm-hmm. There was the fact that there was a lot of drama that was going on, and we just hadn't really addressed much of it. There was also the fact that I wasn't necessarily bringing my son over because there was drama with the baby mama. So anyway,
it sounds like a lot's going on there.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Yeah, there was a lot. There was a lot going on.
Yeah.
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
No kidding.
But anyway, I think these two, nobody's in the wrong. I think they just need to try harder. Because it got to a point where we addressed all these situations, and she was still sleeping. She was still, sleeping in, not waking up. And it got to a point where I was like, okay, we got all these other things addressed. Now we just have to address the sleep.
Yeah.
It's time for the bucket of ice.
Okay. You threw a bucket of ice on her?
Yeah, to make sure that she woke up.
I will say we got a text. Someone's like, I bet if she woke him up with a taser, he'd start getting up in the morning. Same thought process.
Taser, bucket of ice. Listen, we don't encourage violence. I don't know if that's considered violence, a bucket of
I
ice.
don't know if a bucket of ice is. I'm not sure if that falls under under that.
It's
Yeah.
unpleasant. I know that.
It's not fun. It's not a good time.
No.
I did the ALS ice challenge. It's cold.
Yeah.
It really hurts.
Ice typically is that, Brian.
Yeah, it's cold.
Hot take.
It
Ice
was
is
cold.
freezing.
Matt's checking in. Matt Ahoy, go ahead on this subject. So we had a crew member. The girl doesn't want responsibility to wake up the husband when he's late, and he gets mad either way, whether she wakes her up or not. What do you say on this, Matt?
Yeah, so my opinion is that no one here is really the a-hole because since me and my wife have even been dating, she spent the night. She's even come to me and she's been like, hey, if you go ahead and set a snooze alarm, I'm going to stay up. I'm going to be pissed off at you. I can't have you doing that. So I'm going to literally push you out of bed, take up your side of the bed so you can't come back and crawl in with me. And you're basically forced to go ahead and get up.
I didn't realize these
Well,
wars that are happening.
She kind of wins. She also gets an extra comfy, warm, toasty spot.
Oh,
and
it's
he's
so
under the
good.
bed.
Oh, yeah. So she's definitely in the win here, and I do the same. Me and her, we both set alarms for each other on our own phones, so that way if my alarm doesn't wake her up, her alarm will wake her up, and she'll push me out of bed or I'll push her out of bed because we're both kind of in that situation where we're like, hey, we really don't want to get up because, I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work, and she wakes up at, 6 o'clock. So on my days off, I push her out of bed. On her days off, she pushes me out of bed, and it's just, we get mad at each other for 5 minutes out of the day, but then we really thank each other throughout the rest of the day.
Sounds
That's
like
partnership.
Yeah, sounds like a UFC fight.
I hope my husband's not listening to this because I feel like my nightstand's awkwardly close to my face, and if he pushes me out of bed, I think I'm gonna bash my face into it. I'd be so mad.
Is that what those dents in your forehead are? Let's before we get the offspring keyword out, Maddie's checking in. So, Maddie, ahoy, what's up?
Ahoy, guys. I am 100% on Case's side. Brian, how dare you?
Yeah, suck it, Brian.
Well, I'm the only one right in the room, so you can take a side if you want, but I'm right. You know what I mean?
Like, I'm ADHD. I'm not a morning person. Waking up has been a struggle for me since I was a child. But I figured it out because I grew up, and I am now an adult who has to get my butt up every single morning to go to work.
Well,
And I had to go to school at 8 a.m. sometimes in college. And it sucked. I get it.
Amen. I get it.
well, I feel the passion in your voice.
It sucks.
It sucked.
Here's the thing. The greatest thing I ever did was I changed my alarm clock noise to a noise I wasn't used to hearing. And that got me up.
What does that sound?
That was awful.
Dumb and Dumber I was doing there? Okay, Maddie, what's that sound?
It is just a blaring alarm. It's one of the iPhone general ones, but I didn't hear it before, and now I only associate that sound with waking up.
Okay.
I had this bongo one I used for a while to get me out of bed.
A bongo?
Like, you know what I mean? When it's like they're hitting like a million drums.
No, I didn't get it. Do it again.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Well, it is time for a fact that makes your brain go. That we do every day here at 6:30, by the way. If you're new to the show, every day at this time, we give you a fact that blows your mind. And I really work on these and try to make them educational sometimes. Sometimes they're just wild. Sometimes they're like this one, which is this actually turns out to be a good news, bad news, good news. So I'll do the first good news here. We're talking about steps and 10,000 steps. Kay says he likes to try to get 10,000 a day. And Kenzie, I imagine, well, all of us do. All of us want to get 10,000 steps a day because it became this marker. It's also a flex that your friends probably go like, check it out, 18,000 steps today. Look at that. And I'd like to lift some weights to kind of know I did something really. Like that's how I feel like working out is, not just steps.
When's the last time you did that?
Oh my God.
Can I guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the last time you lifted weights is when you lifted them into the house because you bought them. Which I've had to hear that story a bunch of times.
And do you remember that whole story? Because it's even worse.
Because you had to walk them up the flight of stairs. Yes.
Because I live on a second floor, really 3 levels of steps. I didn't even carry most of them. My friend James was in town and he carried most of them up for me.
Could you imagine visiting your friend and that's when he buys a weight set? Like, you're such a jerk.
Well, I had this set. I bought it at Costco and it was still in the box in the back of the car. And he was with me for a couple days here. And he goes like, why don't we get these up out of your car for you? And he started just picked the box up, threw it over his shoulder. He's a big dude. And he carried him up for me. And then I had the last, like the 10-pound weights that were left.
Yeah.
And then
that's what I think when you purchased them and brought them.
it's pretty accurate.
upstairs.
It's pretty accurate.
And your wife uses them a lot, right?
Every day.
Yep.
Well, look at her.
Oh, she looks awesome.
Yeah.
Hey,
we know.
hey. Hey, I mean, thank you. It's actually nice.
My man.
Hey, I like that when people say that.
Yeah.
So here's the good news part. It's good news, bad news, good news. The good news is walking 10,000 steps a day actually does. It linked to less dementia, less cardiovascular disease overall, less heart disease, less heart failure, fewer strokes. It can reduce 13 types of cancer and lowers your risk of dementia by 50%. So that's all good news because there's been a lot of studies lately saying it doesn't mean crap. And this is a pretty accurate study from the University of Kansas Medical Center. It does actually can be a magic pill just getting 10,000 steps a day. Move around. Move around.
Yeah, move it or lose it, baby.
That's right.
For real.
I've seen some alternate studies just trying to be contrarian on it, saying it's not that big a deal, but 10,000 steps is a big deal. Here's the bad news, okay? And it's part of the fact. Everything you have and you spent money on, your Apple Watch, your Fitbit, and even your iPhone, if you know it's tracking you, they're not that accurate on the 10,000 steps.
Yeah.
It's just not. Like you said, your mom put it in the stroller. Now, it wasn't in her foot, so it wasn't moving her leg to count them. But overall, even
I don't know
using
anybody
them.
was in their foot.
So, did I say foot?
You did.
I meant leg.
I've never seen anyone do that.
Yeah. So there can be actually a 12% swing, meaning if you think you got 10,000 steps, it could be 9,000 steps.
So you should technically always overshoot. Like you should really be aiming for 11 to 12,000 a day on your app just to be more accurate, just in case.
Because I'm not sure 9,000 is going to kill you. 10,000, you're still getting 9,000.
Boom. Look at it. Failure. Dead.
I only
could have
walked. I only could have walked a little bit longer to 7-Eleven. Just right there, I would have been fine. Here's the good news, though. Typically, it's inaccurate on the low end, meaning you walked more steps than you thought than 10,000.
Oh.
So you may have walked 11,000 when it says 10,000. So typically, it's better. That's the good news.
Why? Just because you don't always have your phone on you and stuff? Like
It's
my
ju-
mom?
It's just the way those things work. They're not that accurate as they think. I mean, I guess 1,000 steps off is pretty accurate still. But they're saying, but people that are like those crazy workout people, CrossFit, they want to know exactly every step.
Do you remember when you could get a step counter in your McDonald's meal?
Yes.
I don't.
Thank you. Because I don't know why that's such a core memory for me. I think it's when they started serving salads. And you could get a step counter with your salad. It was like an adult unhappy meal.
Yeah, it was a black. It was if I remember when you looked that up, it's Black Monday. They called that.
It was just tough. You know, you have a happy meal your whole life, then you look in the mirror and it's like it's time for change, baby.
It was a day that will live in infamy.
You have to trade out the toy to get a step counter. Worst adulthood ever.
Now wait a minute.
But yeah,
How did it work?
Yeah, you don't remember step counters? We used to clip them to your waistband. They were probably more accurate because they were clips to you, to be honest.
And it automatically counted your steps?
And it would count. That's all it did. Is it only counted steps? People bought step counters in general. Like these were the McDonald's ones that came with your salad. But you could buy a step counter and you would clip it to like your waistband, and people would wear them the whole day. And that's how you used to count steps, because before the phone did it, it's for like Apple Watches and Fitbits and all that.
Yeah.
And you don't remember purchasing step counters? People having them clipped to their little waistband. Like I remember seeing like my mom with her fancy work pants, little step counter clipped to it. You don't remember that?
Me and your mom have a different mentality of working out.
Kenzie, here's the problem. Brian never got a salad from McDonald's.
Correct.
He missed out on all of that.
But it was a really big promo.
Trust me, I remember you would order the saltiest salad in the world at McDonald's.
Like fried chicken in it. They cut up a McChicken and put it in there.
That's my mentality. If you're going to go eat healthy, I'm going to go to Jewel and buy some crisp, clean, fresh lettuce and make a salad at home. If I'm going to McDonald's, I'm going to get double quarter pounder with cheese meal, large size with Coke, and a side of buffalo sauce to dunk the burger in.
Does that sound like a song?
It does.
You can't defeat her. She's too powerful.
Klash with Kenzie.
Let the battle begin. Q101.
And Klash with Kenzie is sponsored by the Schaumburg Boomers.
Feel the boom.
For tickets, visit boomersbaseball.com. Dan in Chicago, competing for the tickets if he wins in trivia against Kenzie. Dan, ahoy, tell us something about yourself.
Hello, I am a teacher.
Oh, no. Gonna be good at all the little facts.
What do you teach? Hold up. Who's laughing in the background?
Sounds like a hyena.
That would be my fiance. We're going to work.
Hey, girl.
That's fun.
That's wild that people actually go to work together.
Oh, I drop her off. We don't work together.
I know he drops me off at the bus corner, makes me wait.
For the bus? Treat your fiance like a hooker.
Dan, you're awesome. That's fantastic.
All right. Well, back to you being a teacher. What do you teach, and how old of kids do you teach?
Oh, this is going to be weird depending on the questions we get. I'm a music teacher.
Oh, cheater. That's not fair. It's not a fair occupation. No, I'm kidding.
That's amazing. We need more music and arts in our schools, and I appreciate you.
Thank you. We sure do need more of that.
I agree. All right, here we go. First one to 5 wins. Listen carefully. If Kenzie gets one wrong, you can steal a point. She can do the same to you. Call heads or tails, Dan?
Heads always shreds.
Not today. It is tails.
Damn, that was pretty brutal, Brian. There was no joy.
You know how much I love shredding, too, but it didn't work.
That's what they say about you.
Kenzie, question number 1.
What do you got?
The American Revolution helped free us from the rule of what country?
England.
England is right.
Thank you, Hamilton. I've learned more because of Hamilton than I ever did because of school. I don't
Because of any teachers, that Hamilton taught me more.
Hamilton, it's soaked in. My teachers all should have been rapping. That's what the problem was. I found out I really absorb it.
Well, maybe if people
when it's got a catchy beat.
Maybe if music teachers like Dan got involved with the history teacher.
That's what I'm saying. Dan, you got to link up with them, help them out.
All right, Dan, question number 2. Yummo is the signature catchphrase of what television chef?
Can you say the word one more time, please?
Yummo.
That would be Rachel Ray.
That was Rachel Ray. Love Ray. I used to watch that all day.
They bumped it from WGN. It's on in the afternoon now. We used to watch it after the show.
Yeah.
It's a bummer. I like her.
I love her.
She seems fun.
Nice lady.
Yeah. 1-1 back to Kenzie.
Kenzie, Better Call Saul is a spinoff of what TV show?
Oh, Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad is right. Dan, what is the opposite of a utopia?
A dystopia.
That's right. We're going through these, man. Let's see, back to Kenzie. Traditionally, what color jorts does the Incredible Hulk wear?
Purple. I go through the memory.
Yeah.
Purple. That's not a popular pant color, I have to be honest. And he's always wearing them when he explodes.
Yeah, I was going to say, did he invent jorts?
Okay, so the history of jorts goes from the Incredible Hulk to John Cena, and so yeah, I think
was he mimicking the Hulk? Is that why he wore them?
I think just a big fan.
Okay.
Because his were hemmed. They were like, you know.
Well, he doesn't explode into a monster.
Correct. Whereas the Hulks were ripped off because he got big.
I'm sure the Hulk would have loved to have hemmed ones,
Oh,
but what
my
do you get?
God.
It always happened out of nowhere.
You imagine Hulk going like, "Can you hem these off?"
I'm sure he got tired of buying his purple pants over and over and over again.
Expensive.
Can you imagine going back and buying purple every time?
Like the guy at Banana Republic was like, what about something else? He's like, no, I'm going to go with the purple.
I'll take 47.
All right.
3-2 back to Dan.
Dan, who is Batman's love interest?
Catwoman?
Catwoman's right. Job. Back to Kenzie.
Bats and cats, baby.
Kenzie, name just one of the 5 NFL teams with a bird as their mascot.
One of the 5 NFL teams with a bird, the Cardinals.
The Cardinals is right.
God, that made me nervous to say that. I know some of it seems obvious, but then when you have to say it and you're like, you're just worried that you're having a stupid moment and everyone hears it. It sucks. I feel better now.
Good.
4-3 back to Dan.
Dan, what is the name of the cord joining a mother and her unborn daughter or son?
That has an umbilical cord.
I don't know why I went to daughter. I mean, I have one, but
biased.
People have sons
Belly
too.
buttons.
Wow, so it's 4-4. Next one wins.
That's right. Nobody's missed a question so far. This has been a good one.
Wow.
But it goes back to Kenzie. She won the coin toss.
This is a good one.
The fiance thinks it's been good. She's out of the corner yet. It's
Yeah,
a good day.
why aren't you on the bus yet?
Oh, we passed that.
Oh, God.
We're raising it now.
It's going to dump her on the side of the road.
Okay, Kenzie.
Yeah, give me one. Ooh.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
What plant makes up most of the koala's diet?
Is it bamboo?
No, it's not bamboo.
Oh, boy.
Dan for the win.
That's eucalyptus.
Eucalyptus is right.
No
Congratulations.
wonder they're so calm.
Why is
They're
that?
just downing eucalyptus.
Why was it good?
Yeah, eucalyptus is very calming. It's like a smell. It's a smell at a lot of spas and stuff.
Oh, didn't know that.
They eat. Which one eats bamboo?
Pandas.
Panda, son of a nutcracker.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.